Welcome back. And now I'm starting to get some concerns. All right, so now I may be starting to get a little concerned because we got to find out why my ECM motor doesn't want to run. So single horse, 208, 230. Is this a three-phase motor? Sure seems like it. We'll find out. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. But so look, I was at 5:30 last night, and so we have gotten rid of that, which micro channels are just gross now. We still got to get this out of here. Right, we got more to go. But now my question is, right, is this, I told them to leave the fan set to on, and the fact that it's kicking a little bit makes me believe that it is trying to do something. But did we freeze up because we were welded shut and we didn't have a blower? I need to get a blower. So according to the schematic, the indoor motor is indeed just a single phase 208. So you got your compressor, which is pulling from 3 lines. You got your outdoor motor. So what's weird about the outdoors, it shows T1. The outdoor motor says it's a 3-phase motor, but seems really odd to me. So blue is running off of line 2, same with the compressor. Red is running through the crankcase heater off of line 1. No, black's running off of line 3. So yep. Boom, boom, boom. 3-phase condenser fan motor, single-phase indoor fan motor. Very odd. It's an ECM motor. So maybe all kind of confused. I may have some signaling problems. All right, we'll get into it. I'm gonna get the last of this ice melted and knocked off. I'm gonna start working on this fan motor while we can to assist with that. So, do we have a bad fan motor? I think so. How do we prove it? Well, we should have, this fan motor is fed, if you look at it over here, so it's actually fed, it's 208 on blue and red, okay? So, and then if you look at this schematic, you see there's a line and a neutral, but since it's 208, it's 2 lines. So hang on, let's see if we can do this without zapping myself. Bang. All right. We have 212 volts sitting at that motor all the time. Why isn't it running? Because it needs 24 volts being sent into its circuit, okay, based on what speed. So I wondered if we just had a bad speed set. We were on number 3, medium high, right? So I set it for number 4. Let me set it for number 2 now, okay, just to show you. Right now, the unit's off downstairs right now, but I had a jumper, yeah. Where you go? Here it is. All right, so when we jumped, we are providing our 24 volts. I measured it. We are providing our 24 volts in the red circuit. The fan just doesn't want to fire. To me, that tells us we got a bad fan. I've got my good 240 here. I got my good 24 volts control circuit. If I really, really cared and wanted to test, because it unhooks, if this is the same fan motor, it sucks because you're not going to pull the whole assembly out. Well, I can pull this. You could pull that whole blower assembly out and steal, see if we got the same motor in that unit. Swap it and see. I got air sirens going off. I got military helicopters flying around. Here we go, baby. Okay, so in case you didn't know, this is how you do this. So wedge that up, take your screws off around the housing. That gives you access, because just taking this off, you don't have room to pull it out. You've got to be able to slide the housing that way. So we're out. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this motor. I'm going to try and get the blower wheel off. We're definitely going to clean the blower wheel while we're messing with this. This motor has been replaced. I got the new part number. There's none here in the beautiful state of Georgia where I'm at, but they could bring it in from Florida for the low price of $1,100. $1,100. Not happening. So I'm going to pull the trick of the century on this thing. As previously discussed, this motor gets 208 volts provided to it all the time, okay? And then 24 volts that fires off the circuit. Well, there's nothing special about this motor. It's really not. Other than that ECM nonsense, which I don't need. I need a single speed. So, if I were to put a 208, a regular 208 motor in here, full horse, this is a full horse, then, and it fits, all I needed to do is fit. If it's the correct horsepower, RPMs, and it fits, then I can put a 24 volt contactor in that box, run my 208 into the contactor, 208 into the new motor, and then have my 24 volt control circuit activate my contactor. We're gonna get them some AC today. All right, so rain showed up. What in the what? As I was coming back with the motor. So, single horsepower motor, okay? It was a variable speed motor, but it was running just, there was a single tap. So, there's all sorts of relays I could put in here. I'm gonna run a contactor. I'm gonna bring a contactor in, okay? I'm going to look at the electrical where it makes sense for me to mount it. I may honestly just physically screw it right into here because I've got a capacitor and a contactor. We have, as this says, we have number one is our common, which is actually just the other side of our signal wire. Okay, so you've got 2 and 4 bringing in 240, which we know, and 3 bringing in our ground. So we're going to cut this. We're going to run 2 and 4, which is my red and my blue, into my contactor. Then I'm going to wire up my motor, wire it into the contactor, and then we're going to bring my C, which is my blue wire, and my 24 volts call for fan to the contactor, and we should be up and running. Right. I cleaned the blower wheel when I got back. Okay, so the blower assembly's clean. Got everything mounted. I have it attached, so she's clean, spinning both sides, and I've got the locking pin tight. You're getting there you go. All right, the unedited, yep. Freaking work in the rain. So what I'm gonna do right now, proof of concept, I know this is true, but I'm still gonna do it. We're gonna get Wagos, and I'm gonna forget the control circuit. I'm just gonna run my 2 legs of power into my motor. I'm gonna hook up my capacitor. Okay, it's got a 20 microfarad capacitor. We're gonna bolt to the wall, and then I'll have to look at the schematic again. I took a picture of it. Yellow is line, and then depending on what you run it to is line. They had you going to yellow, which was medium speed. We're gonna go high speed because it's an 1100 RPM motor, and we're gonna run it to max speed. So when I connect those to this and turn the breaker on, she should start spinning with a cap connected, of course. Okay, truth time. Show of hands. Who thinks this is a terrible idea? I mean, I do some wackadoo stuff. Can confirm. I do some wackadoo stuff. And I've decided instead of Wagoing these together to test it, I'm just going to put them in the contactor first because I need to do that anyway. And then I can just bump the contactor. I'm going to leave the control circuit off and bump the contactor. But I know I could use a relay. I like using a contactor. I can see if a contactor is starting to wear, starting to fail. Relays, not so much. So these are unused speed wires. I just want to verify everything's good. I've got them wrapped over here so they can't get sucked in. That's a good start. Oh boy, don't stick your face in there. Spinning the wrong way. Oh, hang on. So we're spinning the wrong way, which is fine. There's an adaptation for that. All right, I just replaced it. So you flip this the other way. We're gonna let that come to a stop. But, proof of concept, baby. And we got a blower. Yeah, baby. Got a blower. Sweet. All right, so now we're gonna cut these wires back, tape them, secure all this. I'm gonna get an actual strap. We're gonna put this here. A lot of you are probably screaming, this is gonna be humidity in this space. The electronics are not ideal in here, that's correct. Could have run it up and around and got it in here. No, I'm not. I've got their AC almost back up and running. So we're gonna get all this Humpty Dumpty put back together. Then I'm gonna actually jump out. I'm gonna turn it on before I go downstairs, and we're gonna jump it here just to make sure my control circuit is correct. We're gonna be rolling, baby. So we're gonna let this just blow for a few minutes, get that last. I can actually reach in there and pull that chunk out of here. That's what I did with that one. All right, green to red, click, yeah, baby. Control circuit in play. Okay. We got a blower. I didn't look if it was on a delay. Manager came in and started talking to me. Boo. All right, let me open this up. Full voltage. I'm gonna guess that the cooling circuit's on a delay. All right, so got that sorted out. If you saw, and there was enough there for you to know, to realize why the cooling circuit hadn't come on, then that'll be our little secret. And if you didn't, do not tell the other people in the comments. Either you figure it out or you don't. We did indeed have 24 volts though. All right, so she's now heating. I had originally contemplated, listen to that motor, changing that fan motor while I'm here. I've got to do 2 emergency exit lights downstairs as well. I don't have anything else screaming for my attention. So as much as I don't want to be on this roof like this right now, I'm here. Let's get it done. Yeah, baby.